Hey everyone. Today we want to take a little bit of time to discuss a couple of the more frequently asked questions that we get, which is how do I get my order started on your website, and what's the best way to go about packaging my parts, and what carrier should I use to get it sent to you guys? So let's jump on the website and I'll walk you through how to do everything. So you're on our website, maybe it's your first time, maybe you've been here a few times just kind of browsing around, trying to see what you might be interested in. So once you've figured out what cut you're going to be wanting to get, I'll just kind of walk you through all the options here. One thing we get asked a good bit is in regards to what finishes cost more and what finishes are included in the price. It's pretty self-explanatory. If you see a plus next to any finish option, that means it's not included in the base price. Black nitride's a pretty popular option, so I'll go ahead and just click that one just for the sake of walking you through this. The add optic cut option, none of our slides come with an optic cut already. So if you want to send an RMR, Viper, whatever the case may be, this is where you would add that option. The milling options, they're very straightforward, and if you think about them too much, I think a lot of people just get confused. The mill out the rear dovetail for optic is exactly what it sounds like. The optic will take place of where the rear dovetail currently is on your slide, so you won't have a rear dovetail at all. Mill optic in front of rear dovetail is probably the most popular option for Glock slides. The rear sight would stay in the position it's in, and the optic would go in front of it. And then the last option is to mill out the rear dovetail and put a new dovetail in front of the optic. So your current dovetail location would be replaced by the optic, and then you would have a new dovetail in front of the optic. Choose optic, very self-explanatory. Whatever optic it is that you want to get done, that you're sending in, that's where you'd select that. Add Ameriglow sights, again, very self-explanatory. If you're getting an optic, you're going to want to get suppressor height sights. Obviously, standard height sights are not going to work if you're getting an optic cut. Return package insurance. All our slide work ships back free, but we don't include insurance. I would definitely recommend you get insurance just because you never know how these people are going to handle your package. If they're going to, play dodgeball with it, if they're going to lose it. I think it's only happened to us a handful of times out of thousands of slides that anything's ever been damaged or lost. But the good thing is if you get it insured, everything in the box can obviously be replaced. Payment plan. Pretty self-explanatory. The payment plan basically takes whatever your total comes out to and cuts it in half if you select it. So what'll happen is when you go to check out, you'll pay this price right here, and then before your slide is ready to ship back, once it's all done, it's coded, it's ready to go, we'll give you a notification saying that you need to make the last half of your payment before it can ship back. And what you'll do is you'll come back to our website, go to products, custom price, and it'll bring you to this page right here. And there's an option right here called final 50/50 payment. And what you do is right here, you just put your order number, and under the price, you'll just round down to whatever was closest to what you owe. So for example, the total was $256.50. All you do is come down here, select $255, check out, add it to your cart, check out, and then just like that, very easy, very straightforward, you've paid the final half of your payment. So I'll go ahead and add this to the cart, proceed to checkout. The rest is pretty self-explanatory, just like any checkout process on any website would be. You'll go ahead, you can make an account if you want, or you can check out as a guest, fill out your shipping, your billing info. One thing with our card processor is they are very, very strict about having your billing info exactly like it is on your card. If your street adjuster's wrong, your zip code's wrong, if anything is not perfect, it's going to decline your card. The process is not going to go through. So I'll go ahead and fill that out for you real quick and show you guys some of the shipping options. The how did you find us area right here, it is going to make you select it. It's not an option. If you don't select one of these options, it's not going to let you go any further in the checkout process. All right, so once you've got all that done, I just selected my billing address is the same as the shipping address. Obviously, if yours is not the same, you would just unclick this box and it'll drop down the fields for you to fill all that in. Like I said before, USPS Priority is free for return shipping on all slide work. If you want to upgrade to UPS second day air, ground, or next day air, any of that, obviously those options are a little more expensive, but they are there if you want them. So you'll go ahead, choose your shipping option, click continue, and from there the checkout process is extremely straightforward like any other website would be. Put your credit card info in. Before you can check out, you have to agree with the terms and conditions here. All these terms and conditions are saying is that we recommend that you include just a very basic list of everything that you're putting in the box. So what make and model your slide is, what kind of optic you're sending. If you're sending, maybe you're sending an aftermarket striker, or you've got some different sights you want us to install. Anything that you're sending, we would highly recommend you include a list, just because if those things are thrown in the box loose, like we've seen a lot of people do in the past, it's extremely easy for it to just be thrown away if we don't know to be looking for it. So, I mean, if we pull a slide out of a box and an optic out of a box and we don't have a list to know that there's other parts in here we should be looking for, it's very easy for it to get thrown out. So this is just a good way to cover both of our ends as far as knowing exactly what we need to be looking for in the box. So after you click I agree with that, you'll click place order, and at that point it'll run your card, it'll tell you that your order went through, and it'll generate an order number. So at that point there's one of two things that you need to do. If you have a printer, you'll get an email order confirmation, and what you can do is you print that email order confirmation and include it with your box. That's the easiest way for us to go about connecting all your stuff with an order on our end once we receive it. If you don't have a printer, it's not a huge deal. Just go ahead and write that order number down and just make sure you include it in the box with your slide. If we get a slide or in an optic or any other parts and we don't have an order number or an order confirmation to connect it to an order, then we're not going to know what to do with your stuff. It's just going to be put aside, and then your lead time's going to come around. You're going to start calling an email and asking what's going on with your stuff, and that's probably when we'll put two and two together and realize that you sent us a slide with no way of knowing how to connect it to an order. So best way to avoid a huge headache is make sure you do those things. So that's basically it. I'll go ahead and get you guys on over to Cherish, and we'll just kind of talk about how not to package your stuff, the best ways to package it, and then we'll go over just some shipping carrier options. So first we'll show you how not to package your stuff. Believe it or not, we've actually seen, unfortunately, quite a few people send their stuff like this. If you send your stuff like this is usually how we receive it. It's happened plenty of times, so no go. Right here, Cherish is showing you the right way to do it. If you have access to bubble wrap your stuff. Like I said, ship your optic in the box it came in, pack it real well with some brown paper or rags, whatever you have available. Here you can see she's just putting a simple list of what she's got in the box, as well as the order confirmation email going in the box as well with everything. USPS is probably the most popular option that people use to ship slides and other parts to us. They're usually the cheapest. You can send a slide, an optic, and completely insure it for usually under $20 easy. And it also usually only takes 2 to 3 days to get to us. And believe it or not, we've had less issues with packages getting delayed and stuff like that with USPS than any other carrier. But if you want to use UPS or FedEx, obviously those are perfectly fine to use. If you're just shipping slides and optics, barrels, parts, stuff like that, none of those are considered a firearm or any kind of prohibited items or anything like that. So you can ship those items to us just like you would ship, any other random product anywhere in the country. If you're sending a frame to us, USPS is off limits unless you're going to go to your local FFL and have them ship it to us. They only allow FFL to FFL shipping on frames as far as USPS goes. UPS and FedEx can come directly to us and directly back to you as far as firearms are concerned if you ship them via UPS or FedEx overnight. I think that pretty much covers everything as far as shipping. It's pretty straightforward. So with all that said, we appreciate you guys watching, and I hope that answered a lot of questions that you might have had about the order process.